Please listen carefully.
Isn't that like the best sound ever? Guaranteed, if you're a thirsty boy or a thirsty girl, that sound's going to make you 1,000 times more thirstier boy or girl. If you're trying to get a girl thirsty, open up a can in front of them. If you're trying to get a boy thirsty, open up that can. Make him a 1,000 times more thirstier boy or girl. Welcome to Splendid. I'm David. This is episode 3. Uno, dos, tres. I've been trying to learn Spanish. Been trying my best to learn some Spanish. I can't roll my R's for a ding dang diggly though. I can't. And that's like a big part of it. I can't. Never learned how to do it. My mouth is incapable. So I just kind of cheat and do like a soft D. Uno, dos, tres. It works. You can still understand what I'm saying. But yeah, what is that? Could never roll my R's. When we were kids, when I was a kid and me and my friends were like playing guns or whatever, they could always do that awesome like machine gun, like the that thing. I can't really do it. I'm kind of faking it. But I couldn't do that shit. I couldn't make the cool gun sound. So I'd be over here, just the weird kid off to the side going, no shit, I joke you not. No joking, that's the sound I made. That's not a real gun. Whatever gun that is not real. That's some sci-fi bullshit. So, I was the weird kid off to the side. Using his made-up sci-fi guns. I was okay if we were using pistols. Pistols are easy. I feel like as boys, like as a boy growing up, you just got really good at making all those sound effects. Like you got action figures and you're just like... got real good at practice at those fighting sounds. I should put that on a resume. Put that on my resume. Real good at fighting sounds. Maybe start doing them for cartoons or something. Make the fighting sounds for cartoons. What do you do for a living? I make the fighting sounds for cartoons. There's an idea. I tell you what. So I was setting up all my stuff for the podcast. Getting all ready and stuff, and my dog is just chilling in the middle of the room, staring at me with laser focus. Would not break eye contact with me. Just staring intently. I was like, well, what do you want? Because we had just gone out for a walk. We had just taken our walkies. He had relieved himself, uh, he decided to take a duke right in the middle of the sidewalk. What are you doing, you freak? Duking in the middle of the sidewalk. Uh, as soon as he popped a squat, as soon as he, was revving up to let that thing go, the house that we were in front of, the door opened, and immediately some old lady was out there, just because she obviously had nothing better to do other than sit next to the window and look at whatever's going on outside. She wanted to get upset about something. She pops her head out the door and goes, "You better be picking that up. The shit's not even out of his butthole yet." I have like 3 garbage bags or 3, grocery bags in my hand. Like they're out. They're out in the open in my hand. I'm holding the leash. She can see them. Maybe wait till I've started walking away and hadn't picked the shit up to yell at me. I was gonna pick it up. She just wanted to be upset about something and yell at someone. Yell at some young whippersnapper like myself. Had to pick it up off the sidewalk. It's actually much nicer than picking it up out of grass. You know how it like gets caught in grass and you're like trying to like scoop it out and like get all the poop off the grass. It makes it much nicer to just pick it up off the pavement. Anyway, he relieved himself. He had already gone out and done all that stuff. We came back. I gave him food. He had eaten. So what do you want, little boy? What do you want? He's staring at me, and I asked him, "What do you want?" Usually, when I ask him, he's pretty good about running to the back door if he needs to go. Maybe he had a case of the shits, case of the little doogie squirts, and had to go again. Or he'll run to the food bowl. Like, "I'm a hungry dad. I'm still a hungry bear." But I kept asking him. He wasn't moving. He was just staring at me. "What do you want, boy?" He wouldn't even wag his tail. Like a lot of times if I start riling him up, he'll wag his tail. Get that full body wag going on. But no, just staring at me. And then I started thinking the weird, thinking the ominous thoughts. Maybe he's trying to tell me something telepathically. You know how animals and pets and stuff can like sense danger before it happens? Like maybe he's trying to tell me there's an earthquake a coming, or maybe there's a storm a brewing coming on through. I'm like, that's okay. It's all right. I'm cool with storms. I've been instructed on the ways of the earthquake. There's a door frame right over there. I think I'll be fine if that happens. But then my mind starts wandering a little bit more. And I'm like, what if he's trying to warn me about a murderer? A crazy man. What if he's trying to warn me about a crazy man with murderous intent? Someone's going to bust in here and try and whack me. So maybe I should be thinking about hiding spots, good hiding spots, in my little 650 square foot apartment. Or be a good place to hide. Or maybe I should be, preparing a weapon of some sort. What are you trying to tell me, boy? Come on, out with it. But he can't speak humans. He can't speak human speak. So he decided to let my imagination run wild. If someone busted into my house and all I had was a kitchen knife, which is all that I have as an option, I'm not sure if I'd have the balls to stick a boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I'd have it in me. You'd feel it. You'd feel it go in there. You'd feel it go into the guy. Oof. Just, and then it doesn't immediately kill them, you know. So they're gonna like maybe try and fight you a little bit, or if it hurts them bad enough, they fall down on the ground, and then you gotta have a conversation with them. Like, sorry, dude. Like, oh man, you got me. Ow, that really hurts. I'm just gonna sit down here if you don't mind. Just sit here and die. So, how's your day going? Sorry about busting in like that. You gotta have a weird long conversation while he's slowly dying. I'd just as soon be killed. I'd have just assumed him to kill me, you know? To go through that long, awkward conversation. Can I get you anything while you're dying over there? Do you want me to just smack you over the head with something? I've got this pot. Do you want me to just knock you out? Might be better that way. Now, if I had a gun, easily, you're done. I'd have no problem shooting a man. I realize there are a lot of microphones around this room, a lot of things. If you're listening in right now, I do not plan on actually killing anybody. This is all a hypothetical. I'm just saying if someone busted into my house and I needed to protect myself, I'm pretty sure I could shoot him. Pretty desensitized to it now, just growing up and playing all them shooting games. Plus, it just ends them, you know? Unless you're a really bad shot and you just, like, knock them in the arm. And then you're fucked. Yeah, I've been thinking about that more and more, about getting a gun. I've never been a gun person. Never been interested in them. Never thought that I would need to get one, but I don't know. You know? I'm not so sure anymore. The world is a little bit crazy. The world's getting a little bit wacko. I find myself when I'm at the grocery stores now, when I'm in the canned food aisles and stuff, kind of eyeing all them canned foods and being like, maybe I should start just buying these. And, you know, stockpiling them up in my garage. Just enough for, you know, like a couple of months. Just in case, because if shit hits the fan, I don't trust people to move ahead amicably. Amicably. That's a word, right? That's a fucking word. I've been noticing lately that I've just been throwing out words that I think I know. Like my brain will just cough up a word, and I'll realize after I say it, that I don't fully know if I know the definition. Amicably, in a friendly and peaceable manner. Yes, okay, perfect. I used it the right way. Yeah, I've just been coughing up fucking random words. Like in the last episode, I said, I was talking about like inviting negative thoughts into your mind and like inviting them into your living room for tea and strumpets. And I meant to say crumpets, but strumpets came out. And a strumpet is a female, a prostitute. A strumpet is a hooker. So you're inviting those negative thoughts in for tea and hookers. Just throwing out words that I think my brain knows, and sometimes I'm wrong, you know, sometimes I'm right. Today I was right. Anyways, as I was saying, if shit hits the fan, I don't think I think it's just gonna break down to a bunch of fucking gangs roaming around, just like raping and pillaging and busting into people's places and, you know, pilfering their food. There's another one, pilfering. I'm not 100% on that one either, but I wanted to say it, pilfer. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep checking my words. Steal. Okay. I'm 2 for 2. I'm batting 1,000, you guys. You proud of me? Thanks. Anyways, I just yeah, I don't trust us to be civil. So I'm thinking I need to start stockpiling food and water and get myself a gun to protect myself with. I was one of my friends was out with her family. They were out in the desert and they were shooting targets and stuff. They had all their guns out there, all these different types of guns, and they were shooting at targets. And she had it posted on Snapchat. And I was gonna write her a message and just be like, "Oh yeah, that looks like fun," and I was gonna put a little gun emoji in there. And I was looking around for the gun emoji. There's no gun emojis anymore. They got rid of gun emojis. They got rid of them. You can find like squirt guns and stuff like that, but anything gun or gun related seems to have just disappeared. Um, and I'm just assuming that's because of, you know, the recent, all the school shootings and just the shootings in general, and all the murders, all the murders that are going down, and kind of this uproar about guns and gun control and all that. I'm guessing that everyone got real sensitive to it, so they instead of getting rid of the actual things that's doing the murdering, they thought they'd just do the next best thing and get rid of the emojis. you know, do the right thing and just get rid of the emojis, not the actual ones that are actually doing the harm. God forbid someone uses a gun emoji, you're going to remind somebody that guns exist. Then they're going to go out and get one. And they're going to use it, boy. I'm not getting political in here. I'm not saying my stance one way or the other. It's just an observation. I thought it was interesting. They still have a bomb emoji. A bomb could destroy many a peeps. Many a people. They have a cigarette, they have knives, they have about 7 or 8 alcoholic drinks to choose from in the emoji section. Tobacco and alcohol kill like over 500,000 U.S. citizens a year. But that's okay, they can stay. Anyways, again, just an observation. Thought it was interesting. Not trying to get political up in here, because, fuck politics. Who cares? I know people care, but, like, who cares, really? Uh, the other day, my friend was telling me, like, I guess in Oregon right now, the Democrats are trying to pass this bill that's it would put a cap on carbon emissions. So like businesses would only be able to use a certain amount or emit a certain amount of greenhouse gases, and if they go over the cap, they get charged. They have to, spend more money to do it. So they're trying to, the Dems looking out for the global warming and whatnot. They're trying to put a cap on the carbon emissions and keep that in check. Well, so in Oregon they have the super majority. So they have the majority in the House and the Senate. And so essentially, if they bring a bill out, and they, bring it to a vote, they're going to win the vote. So the Republicans' response to this, which they're all getting paid by these companies to vote against it, the Republicans' response, because they know they're going to lose, is they just disappeared. They bounced. They got the fuck out of there. They're like, we're not into this. We're not playing. So they bounced. They disappeared. Um, they're hiding. They're playing hide and seek. And they did this because you need um you so like in a for a bipartisan vote, you need at least I think 9 members of the opposite party to be present when you're voting on a bill. My numbers might be wrong, but I think you need at least like 9 or something like that members of the opposite party to be present and to vote on it, to pass it. So their solution, the Republican solution, is we're just not going to show up, and then they can't pass the bill. So that's cool. So they're just they're hiding. They ain't showing up to work. So the governor of Oregon got the police force involved and is ordering them to go track down these rogue senators. Just round them up and get them into work. Now all the Republicans are getting up in arms and they're like tweeting out that if the police come anywhere near them, they're gonna respond with force. Like they're gonna fucking like fight the police, and they've got militia groups behind them that are like gonna fight the police with them. What the fuck is going on? They're like grown ass children. They're not getting their way, so they're pouting and they're hiding. What the fuck does it matter? What the fuck? Like, what did I have no? So if I voted Democrat in Oregon or whatever, and I got all my Democrats in there and in office, so it doesn't really fucking matter because they're just doing whatever the hell they want anyway. So I don't know. Politics are silly, silly Billy to me. I have things I care about, I guess. I have my opinions on things that I think are good. I'll vote when it comes time to vote because that is at least steering somewhere in the right direction. But you know what? Everyone's going to be upset all the time regardless of what side you're on. Shit's just going to be fuckied, right? It's just going to be a little bit fucky. You're going to have an opinion, someone's not going to like it. That's just the way it goes. So I try not to worry myself with it too much. I worry myself with myself and the people within my circle, the people that I care about. I try to make it good for me and good for the people close to me. And then we can influence our own little world there. You know? Just make that good. It's okay to be to care about the issues and stuff like that, but try not to get too lost in it. Or too invested. I see people posting all this stuff all the time, like on their social media, all this stuff about, their opinions, essentially. Their political opinions, like they're going to sway someone one way or the other. And it's like, you're not. Most people are just swiping through that shit, or at least I do. I don't read it. Like, if I see you doing a bunch of political stuff, I'm swiping right through all that stuff. I'm not reading any of it. You're not going to change my mind, especially over social media and just like posting stuff. I don't know, like memes and stuff. It's like, no, dude. No, 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 no. No means no. That's a stupid little saying, huh? No means no. No fucking shit. What does no mean? It means no. Well, you haven't explained anything to me. You've just repeated the word. What does gurglemik mean? Well, gurglemik means gurglemik. Okay, that explains nothing. No means no. Okay. So, I'm a LaCroix boy. I've gotten on that train. I've gotten on that LaCroix train. This pamplemousse train. Pamplemousse, which I assume is French for grapefruit. Super yummy. Zero everything though. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about the zero on everything part because I'm tasting a little bit of pamplemousse. And if I can taste pamplemousse, there's something in there that's not just nothing. It says it's essenced. Naturally essenced. Well, what the fuck does that mean? What is the essence of pamplemousse? What have you done? Is this one of those things where years and years later they're going to figure out that LaCroix gives you cancer? Turns out that LaCroix was naturally essenced with cancer. The essence of cancer. Nah, but it's good. It's making me drink more water, which we can all stand to be a little bit more hydrated, you know? It's a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more fun than water. What is it? Why is it that water is so gosh dang boring? You know, we need it. It's essential for us. We're made of like 60 to 70% of it. 60 to 70% made out of water. And I at least, it just tastes, it doesn't taste good. Unless I'm like super parched. If I'm super thirsty, obviously water is amazing. But just on the reg, water's kind of hard to get down, you know? So this makes it a little bit easier. Also, recently stopping drinking, or recently had stop words, man. I tell you what, sometimes they're hard. Words is hard. Having recently stopped drinking alcohol, it kind of keeps my mouth busy. You know, they say idle hands are the devil's playground. Well, idle mouth is also the devil's playground. Sounds a bit sexual. But yeah, it gives my mouth something to do. Especially, it's like in these cans, so it kind of can replicate drinking a little bit. Um, I don't know, it helps a little bit. Not that I have any real desire to go back to drinking. I don't. I haven't had a problem. Haven't really had a problem with stopping, to be honest. Haven't really had any urges to go back to the old bottle. My dreams would tell me differently. It's crazy. Every single night I have a dream that is alcohol involved in some way. I'll be drinking in some manner. The other night I was at like a house party, or the other night in my dream I was at like a house party or something. I was like smuggling booze in with like in house plants, like the booze was in the soil. Why? I don't know. It's a dream. It's dream logic. I don't fucking know. But I was like smuggling tequila in, um, soaked in the soil of house plants, and I was just like drinking out of it. And then I always wake up and feel like super guilty for like 5 seconds because I thought it was real. I'll wake up and I'm like, ah, fuck, I fucked up. Anyway, yeah, I think I've about moved on from all the vices and stuff. I think I've sown my wild oats. You know what I mean? Like as far as drugs and alcohol and smoking and all that stuff. I got the gist, you know. They were fun, but I'm ready to move on. The cons greatly outweigh the pros, you know. Um just, a good trip is a good trip and a bad trip is a really can just be a real fucked up experience, you know. And I won't miss that. I was thinking about all my drug escapades in my life, and I recalled this time where me and two of my buddies took shrooms, and we're having a grand old time, being silly, doing all our mushroomy things. And at a certain point in the night, we ran out of cigarettes, and that's a big no, that's a big uh-oh. You need the cigarettes. Got to keep those cigarettes rolling. Um, so this meant that we would have to go out into the world, go out and venture into the world, and be normal people, or at least try to be as normal as we could. We had to go out and brave the elements and have an adventure. So we start walking to the nearest 7-Eleven, which is only a couple blocks away. And so we're walking, and halfway there, one of them starts laughing for no reason at all. He must have thought of something funny, I guess, and just started cracking up. Well, the laughter is a little bit contagious, especially when you're tripping balls. So the other dude starts laughing because he's like, "What are you laughing about?" And dude can't even talk. He's just, doubled over. And so they're cracking up, and then I start cracking up, and we're fucking infected with laughter. You can't shake it. So we finally get to 7-Eleven. We have not stopped. The laughter has not subsided at all. So we get up there. We kind of chill outside for a second to see if we can just straighten out for a second and get our composure. So we're just sitting there, and we can't. There's no fucking way, dude. We keep looking at each other like, "Are you good? Are you good?" And it just makes us crack. So I'm like, "Let's just go in. Let's go." I don't say this. I can't say it. I can't speak right now. We are deep in the throes of this curse right now. And so we go in, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna go in. Maybe the change in atmosphere, like going into a place, maybe the fluorescent lights will snap me out of it, or like maybe I'll be forced. Like once I see the clerk, maybe I'll be forced to like be normal. So we just go in there, still cracking the fuck up. I'm the dude with the money. I'm the dude with the plan. I'm the one who's buying the cigarettes. So I have to stay in there. But the other two bounce. They get out. They can't handle this shit. They only lasted about 10 seconds before they were out the door, and they go into the parking lot and just fall on the ground. They're rolling around on the ground in the parking lot. Now, thank God no one was there. No one else was there. It looked real weird. They're just rolling around, cracking up on the fucking pavement in the parking lot, and I'm stuck alone in this 7-Eleven. I'm still cracking up as well. So I just take a deep breath and have decided already that I'm just gonna look like a fool. There's no getting around it. I'm just go up to the counter, and I stand there and wait for the clerk. He must have been in the back, I guess. Well, he was in the back. Just wait for the clerk to come out. I'm just sitting there. I'm convulsing with laughter. I'm not even making any sounds anymore because it's like deep. It's deep within me, and it's guttural, and I'm convulsing, and I've got tears running down my face for no fucking reason. It's just laughter that's there because it decided to be there and won't leave. The whole situation is hilarious, even though it's like the most mundane, normal situation. Everything is funny to me. So I'm waiting at the counter, and I see the clerk come out from the back, and he is a fucking behemoth of a man. Like, we're talking 6'6", at least 350, 400 pounds, just girthy ogre. A fucking ogre comes out of the door. He's got these huge, like those giant glasses, those bifocals that just magnify the eyes, so his eyes are all huge and buggy. And he's chewing on something, right? His mouth is full. He's chewing on something, and there's just chocolate smeared all over his face. So he's got chocolate all over his face, comes rolling out. His top button of his pants is undone, and his belt is undone. Just hanging open. I was already broken, but this shattered me. This shattered everything. My mind was shattered. So he comes rolling out. What the fuck was he doing? I don't know. Jerking off whilst eating a chocolate donut? That's all that I could think about. So I can't do it. I can't handle it. So I move from the counter. I roll into an aisle, the nearest aisle. It was the cracker aisle. It had all the chips and stuff. I roll into the aisle, still cracking up. Can't fucking stop. And I'm trying to act natural. The whole time in my brain, I'm like, he fucking knows. I'm sitting here laughing. I'm picking up Cheez-Its and stuff, like, off of the shelf and, like, looking at them. Like, trying to act natural, you know? like this is what people do when they are shopping for food. Look at that. Put it back on the shelf. Move over to the Funyuns. Look at them. There was no stopping it. Once I finally had the realization, too, that what I was doing wasn't helping or fooling anyone, including the fucking ogre, that crazy, what may have been a hallucination. I have no idea. Oh, it was so, like, it looked like he's just chewing on this donut, and like his face, when I finally walked up to him, his face was just like contorted, and he was a monster, straight up, just a monster. I couldn't even make eye contact with him. So I just walk up there, I put my ID down on the counter, and I probably blurted out some fucking words, pointed. I'm not even sure if I got the cigarettes that I wanted, but I got cigarettes, and that's all that mattered. And we got the fuck out of there, and we survived. We got home, and the rest of the night was just dandy. But yeah, moving on from experiences like that, you know, because at the time it was fucking terrifying. It's funny to think back about now, like think back on it now, like that's a hilarious story, and like we're laughing and stuff, we're cracking up. You'd think of good times. Laughter equals good times. But no, it was actually kind of terrifying as it was happening. Like, I can't stop laughing. I'm in this really socially, like, awkward situation with this guy, with this fucking monster, and I have to deal with him, and I can't keep my shit together. So anyway, I won't miss it. I won't miss that. I won't be missing that anymore. So yeah, get my life straightened back up together after a lot of drinking and drugs and stuff like that. I think I mentioned this already in a previous podcast, but you know, I like studying up on stuff. I like figuring out ways, you know, things to add to my life to just make life better, you know. Just different tactics and things you can use to just feel better, you know. So I started. I had read some stuff about cold showers and how cold showers are really good for you. There's all these benefits to it, like good for your immune system, good for your cardiovascular system. It's good for your skin and hair, and um, it's good for depression. They've done all these studies that cold showers reduce your cortisol levels, which is like bad stress, like the bad feeling stress in the body, and it ups your serotonin levels, which serotonin is the happy feel good stuff. Um, so I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll give it a try. Why not? Why the hell not? So I've been doing it for about a week, and man, you feel real good when you get out. Going in's not so fun, but you get used to it. You get used to it over time. Initially, no one wants to be splashed by cold water. It's uncomfortable. We don't like it. We've spent thousands of years getting to the point where we can just chill in a controlled environment of anywhere from 68 to 72 degrees at all times, and then when we shower, it's nice and warm and cozy, right? We're not exposed to a lot of the elements and stuff anymore. So it's kind of a shock when you take a cold shower. It's like, fuck, I'm not supposed to be doing this. But that's kind of where the discipline part comes in. Putting your mind to something and just not being a bitch and doing it. Like, I've told myself I'm going to take these cold showers, and by golly, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make myself do it even though I don't want to. And that's good. That's good for you to overcome those things and do it, even if it's something as small as a cold shower. You've defeated something. You've conquered something, But yeah, I just, I notice all this stuff, and it just seems like a big thing now. Everybody, the mental health, mental health seems to be this big thing that's around now. I didn't really notice it. It's been like the past couple of years, it seems like a big boom of everybody's got anxiety or depression or this or that. And I got to thinking about it, and it's like, I think we're just too comfortable. I think we've just become way too comfortable. We don't, I won't speak for everybody, but I feel like, exercising, getting out and moving your body and like making it uncomfortable, make it work, taking cold showers, like shocking the system. I feel like all that shit, makes the body uncomfortable in a good way. It stresses, like taking a cold shower stresses the body out while you're in there. It's all, you stress your body out, and you kind of go through this ordeal, right? But it kind of makes you battle hardened when you get out. Makes you more prepared for the stresses outside of the cold shower. Sounds dumb, but it's true. I've noticed in the past week, I've felt more upbeat, just more positive, more energy. When you get out, you feel your body, like you actually feel your entire body kind of radiating. It's just like, and it's warm, and you can feel energy moving through your body. It feels really good. I started out just going in, taking a normal shower, and at the end, I would do the 1, 2, 3 method, where you count to 3 and you just go, you fucking do it. I do that with a lot of stuff. If I'm having trouble getting motivated, I'll just count to 3 and then fucking do it on the count of 3. Just say fuck. Like if I don't want to go to the store, or I'm like lollygagging around, and dragging my feet. Eventually, I'll just be like, all right, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go, and I'll go. So I use that tactic for a lot of stuff. And I just used it in the shower when I was ready, when I was done showering and all washed up. I would get all focused. I'd get my mind ready. I'd count to 3, turn that shit all the way cold, and chill in there for like a minute or two. And just make sure to breathe and take that shit. So you can ease into it. If this is something that you have any interest in trying, read up on it a little bit first, and see if it's something you want to try. I recommend it if it feels awesome. And you can kind of slowly get into it by slowly implementing the cold into your showers until eventually you can just step in and take a cold shower for like 10 minutes. But yeah, this dude named Wim Hof, he's this Dutch dude. He's a huge advocate of getting yourself into cold environments, and he also does a lot of breathing techniques and stuff. Those have been awesome too. Just making sure that your body gets a bunch of oxygen, make sure that you're breathing a ton, and that gives you more energy and just makes you feel good. It's just more stuff to make you feel good. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling all sadsies, why not try these things that might make you feel better? I'll put links to some of this stuff down in the description, and you can look it up if you want to. Wim Hof, look up some of his stuff. He's really good. He actually has an app for the phone that you can keep track of some stuff, like keep track of your breathing practices and like how long your cold showers are going for, stuff like that. And he kind of instructs you through it in the app. The other thing I read, which was just another kind of random book that I went through, is called Zero Limits, and it's about a Hawaiian, I guess, religion, or it's like a spiritual thing, maybe a belief, and it's called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. Hawaiian words, am I right? Do they mean anything? They're just sounds. They're just like ho-wa-da-wa-da-wa-da-way, habba-da-wash-da-boshi. Ho'oponopono. What is their Hawaiian state fish? I know they got a weird fish. Humu humu nuku nuku apua. Humu humu nuku nuku apua. That's not even... What is that? That's not real. This is just sounds. And why do you make it so long? That's like 20 letters long. Figure out your words, Hawaii. They're a little bit too long. Anyway, yeah, Ho'oponopono. It's this idea that we are responsible for everything that happens in our lives. Whether it be, something that directly affects us or something outside, like maybe your a couple of friends are in a dispute or having a dispute, or some coworkers are having a disagreement or something. You are responsible for everything that's going wrong because it is happening. If you are aware of it in your life, you are responsible for it. And so the idea is that when you have a problem or you need to cleanse a problem within you or within your world, you think of that problem and you ask for forgiveness. You apologize. You say, I'm sorry. You apologize. And then you thank the situation and you say, I love you. And you're essentially just saying this to yourself, to everything that is within you. They call it the divine, which I guess is like a God or whatever you want to define it as. It's not a God in the all-powerful dude floating in the sky sense, but God is in like your own God. So whenever there's something wrong, you just immediately snap to for asking for forgiveness and then thanking yourself and loving yourself. For example, the other day I was at a red light and some dude came ripping up next to me in like a lowered Honda Civic with a spoiler, with the windows open, bumping rap super loud with these subwoofers, just he's like smoking. And immediately, right, where do I go? I go to judgment. Because it's normal. I'm like, this guy's a fucking tool, right? That's immediately where I want to go. Look at this fucking turd bag over here. Huh? But immediately, right when I thought that, instead I switched it and I just said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So I've been trying to do that with everything in my life. Just replace the negative things with this kind of mantra. And it is what it is. Another saying that I fucking hate, because of course it is what it is. But it's just a thing. I'm not super into it. Obviously, I'm not getting into like this religion or whatever. I'm not going deep into it, but it is nice to kind of replace negative thoughts with the positive thoughts, because who wants to go to Negative Town? No one wants to go to Negative Town. That place is gross. It's nasty, and it's littered with all sorts of garbage. We want to go to Positive Town, where it's like a perfect 75 all the time, and Christmas every day. That's Positive Town. So I have noticed that using the L word more just kind of changes the chemistry in my brain in a good way. It's kind of like when they have they did that experiment or whatever where they used the like, they had droplets of water and they had people say like loving things to the water. Like they'd say I love you to the water, and the molecules within the water like formed these super symmetrical and perfect patterns. And then they had another group say hateful stuff and like hateful words at the water, and it was all disheveled and fucked up. The molecules got all messed up. So I feel like it's something like that going on. Just trying to be more positive. Anyway, I think that's about it for me, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll link a couple of things that I talked about in this episode down in the description, so you can check it out if you want to, if it interests you. I do recommend them cold showers, boy. You freeze your nips right off, but you feel damn good afterwards. So I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this pamplemousse. I hope you all have had a good weekend, and I will see you on the next one.